Okay, we're gonna be doing another quick granary gravel pit map review. I figured, hey, you know, last video I didn't really go into too much. I went into a lot of basics, and now looking over Bob, there's a lot of things I learned last night. Some things enough so that I feel like I should make a new video and one that goes into more detail. So I'll try to go as quickly as possible over stuff I covered, just in case you guys watched the last one. I doubt most did, but that doesn't matter. As for, most teams defend on B. We voted not to for reasons I'll get into later once we got into A. But most sentry gun spots you're gonna find to be around here, either back here. You can see there's a lot of blind spots. It's not too bad. I mean, you can corner peek it from here, if needed in the house. Obviously, there's the windows up here you can easily peek it from. It's really its only jobs to kind of protect the roof and the medic, because the medic's going to be standing back here with like a dispenser against this wall. But yeah, another sentry gun spot that I've found online that you might see is this one here. It's still not great per se. Basic demo spam's going to take it out if they have a half a brain cell. I mean, I guess it's slightly better. Of course, it's not really covering the roof at all, so I shouldn't have to say what's going to happen. Also, you could probably get some funny angles from here if they're watching like this close roof, if you're trying to peek that. So yeah, there's that. I don't really see. I mean, there's a few like funny sentry spots you can put that you might have to watch out for. The biggest thing though is I have a feeling most teams, if they do run B, they might opt to not have an engineer at all, which is completely fine. If they do decide to hard hold B, obviously we're gonna want to cap A first, and vice versa if they are hard holding A, just in case other teams are feeling risque. But if they are, I'll quickly go over the calls. This is gonna be, we can either call this cliff or bats. Left clips or bats, right? Maybe if you want to call it like crates, you can. This side crates and that side cliff. I'll try to do like a voting session during the our session later on, because we are gonna cover the maps again in person, so don't worry. Obviously roof. Oh, SV cheats isn't odd on. That's my problem. Give me 1 second. Okay. That's roof, shack. If I guess you could call this pallets, house. I don't really think we really need to specify it. If we're defending left, right, right spawn. I don't think we really need to specify this more in this hallway. A B connector, and again, I don't think we really need to specify these chokes if we are holding B or pushing B. You can say like to cliffs blocked off, crates or whatever we call this, bats is blocked off. But yeah, if they're hard holding B, if we get a few picks, what we can do is we can do a lot of different things. If Gladiator, if you're on sniper, I mean, you can easily just sit here and farm this side of the spawn, and then Bob sits on the other side of the spawn, and we're basically golden. Whoever we kill, they're gonna have a hard time getting back to their team, and then of course we could just send soldiers and soldiers. The two soldiers, the medic and me as a scout, most likely to be the cap it. I could be left to cap it, and once we clear the point, make sure there's no one that can contest it. Then again, we just send all our forces to C and basically win the day. Soldiers, if you want to make things easier for us, you can easily run the pain train. I'm going to be completely honest. And then you just sit up here, and again, you can spam out their spawns from either side, and it will be pretty easy to win, because then we don't really have to deal with the C defense too much, especially if you have Uberad going into this. But yeah, speaking of that, if they are holding B, you can see these cliffs. If we go through A to C to B, we have this nice little opportunity to bomb up and onto them wherever they are on this map. And of course, the house isn't really much of a hiding spot, really. We're gonna have to definitely call like 4 or 5-man sacks if we're worried. If we're trying to push them out. Because once we get those picks, I mean, we could easily just even have a 4-man sack and leave Bob at their spawn. Trap off this side of the spawn, get it maybe like, you know, some early spawn kills. Again, because they're going to be spawning probably in batches, they're going to be like, oh, we need to get back to B. Oh, and then they all walk out pretty much at the same time, or most of them. And then they die here to Bob, and they're very big, upsetty spaghetti. And again, we stifle their spawns to hopefully give us a chance to push off either player ad or off Uber ad. And then again, this should be easy enough to take. And the question is, if we're not spawn camping them, then we just have, again, you know, let's say 2 soldiers on crates or bats watching the choke. Bob over here, or again, we should probably have Bob over here because this is a harder choke to hold. It's easier for a double man to hold, and you get a little bit of better of a loose cannon angle in here, Bob. I think that's honestly probably going to be preferable. And then then we can easily have, you know, 1 to 2 soldiers watching over here while I cap and or both scouts cap if Glizzy's on scout at the time. Or even if he's on sniper, I mean, I wonder if you can just peek out this window and cap at the same time. Let me check. Let me look. Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, because you see it says no capping at this time. So yeah, you can do that. That's funny. You can also peek out the other window too. If you are on sniper because you wanted the siege him out on sniper, which that is a play, Glizzy. Since I do think you're a really good sniper, the little bit I've played with you. So yeah, and don't be afraid to like full-time off class on sniper on this map. I'm gonna be completely honest. There's a lot of good sniper sight lines. Again, if they give us this half of the map, you can easily sit back here, and if they are trying to hold in what I'm gonna call Enigma, just because of the video, apparently some engineer named Enigma made this, you know, this sentry spot popular. Then that you can just do that. You can just sit back here and plug away at their entire team, and it wouldn't be too hard for soldiers to sit on roof and basically try to shoot at or bomb any competition that tries to run towards you. So yeah, a lot of good sniper sight lines pushing into B. Not from here really necessarily, but you know, more so here. You can get some decent ones. Peeky on here, and then of course once you drop down, you can lock off that angle and this angle. So yeah. Okay, that's B out of the way. Now on to A, where we're going to be hard holding, and I'll show the rollout near the end of this video because I don't really want to do it, but basic premise, because just in case I'm not engineer for some reason, but you know, and also just in case anyone else, we need to use this in the future. We are going to be setting up on this rock with the sentry gun. Spencer going down here. I'm going to be placing a temporary teleporter over here.
Teleporter
But
going
I'm going to be trying to move it to, and get this, you won't believe it. I was looking at it with Bob, and I can easily put his Spencer on either side of this. And, I mean, it's going to be harder over there because of the overhang, but I digress. Give me a second. My brain's a little slow since I just woke up. We can put a teleporter up here. And as you can see, wow, that's one heck of a sniper sight line here. Oh, don't worry, there's better sniper sight lines than that. But that will be a funny teleporter spot. I don't think most teams are going to see it. It can definitely get spammed out if they shoot the ball, if they know where it is, but I don't think most teams are going to really notice it. Especially if my sentry gun being where it is and being the center of attention. Good sniper sight lines on this map, Glizzy. Right here. You pretty much can see the entire map from here. I mean, that side's a little harder, but it's not that hard to rotate if you think they are, you know, going that way. And or you can jump on this roof and you can easily get whatever you can't really see that well. So yeah. Over here, if you're worried about them pushing out this way, you can be over there. You got a good view of C. You got a decent view of the left side of their spawn, and B. Oh, I guess I should go over callouts. Obviously, point. CA connector, BA connector, obviously left and right side spawn. I don't really think we need to call it the roofs, but shack, HUD, I don't know. I don't really think it's gonna matter too much because it's gonna be pretty simple to see. A house, point, obviously. And I don't think we really need to do anything else for callouts. Obviously, this is going to be rock. I mean, the map's pretty wide open. We're going to be able to, as soon as you peek, you're going to be able to pretty much see where everyone is. So, and I doubt they're going to hold it. So, again, for us, it's left and right spawn. They're in the BA connector or C connector. B connector or C connector. We can just shorten it down to if we're hard holding A, because then we don't really need to worry about, oh, the B connector connects to A and the C connector obviously connects to where we're fucking standing in. So yeah. I guess one good thing about B is it's easier to push out on. I mean, if the teams are not super coordinated, I mean, you have 2 exits. If we lose A, we're gonna lose A. If you've watched Meet the Demo Man, you know what happens if you try to push through here. Enough said. So, and funny enough, Bob, if we do have to hold A from people pushing, you can easily stand here, watch your trap, and it should prime around here. Should prime your loose cannon. For double donks just on shot. So I mean, you can play around with that on your free time. But yeah, I know I'm kind of glazing over it, but that's because I really don't want to spend too much time covering something I already covered a lot in the video. Sentry gun here because, again, it watches both these doors really well. It doesn't see the B connector, but that doesn't matter because, again, a soldier can stand right here easily enough. He doesn't even have to rocket jump up here. You literally can just jump like this. And you got a pretty good view of both of these. Our medic can stand around here-ish because, they're pretty safe from sniper sightlines. They're pretty centralized and they can help. Our demo man's going to be standing here. Sniper, again, is going to be floating around this side of the map. Our second soldier needs to be here. It's not negotiable. The sentry gun spot has a pretty bad, it has a fairly big blind spot. It does shoot at him and push him into the corner, so it makes it really easy for anyone to clean up on him. But it does have a blind spot on that side. But guess what? That's a nice thing about. But it's nice that it's the blind spot is on this side because if our medic's over here, our demo man's over here, most of our important assets are on this side of the map, and they Uber on that side of the map because it's the weaker side. If our soldier needs to back up, he can. And our sniper, of course, because he's going to be further back, even if he's on this side, he can react to that. He can react to that Uber. He can either, decide to play a little bit more ballsy. He can run towards he can jump down here, run towards the sentry gun's range, and then have this house to play in for cover from bombers. He can run up run up the stairs. There's a lot of different things you can do at this point if they do push out that way, and that's kind of why I'm fine with that blind spot because again, it still shoots at them, so they might not connect the dots that they can sit in this corner and spam it for free if they can, bully the person off of high ground. And they'll just take a little bit of damage from getting to that position. But again, they'll still get softened up if it's a level 3 because they're going to get a rocket sent their direction. So, again, that's a blind spot. We might need to have people... Again, soldiers are probably going to need to rotate depending on where they're deciding to push from. It's again, we're gonna have to call out. Okay, they're pushing from C. They're pushing from B hard. Maybe they're going left or right. They're going left or right spawn. If they're going from the spawns, then we're gonna probably want to try to hold more like where we are. But if we know a majority of their teams pushing from C or B, feel free to rotate. Obviously. But I'm not too worried. Again, I'm not too worried about C because our demo man's should keep this fairly under wraps pretty well. Maybe they might exploit the fact that the Quickie Bomb launcher doesn't have the same magazine clip as the stock, but we'll see. We'll see how smart they are. And again, since Bob is a loose cannon and he can sit back here and just doink them out, because this box is basically set up for him to double donk their asses into oblivion, I'm not too worried about them pushing for, and especially if an Uber from C. That's a nice thing about having the loose cannon. You're just gonna once you get into the optimal range, you're just gonna be throwing against this wall constantly, and be wasting a good chunk of their Uber. Which again, that's why I'm focused on having the sentry gun in these positions, because I don't want to give them room to sack. I want to force them to use their Uber in a way that benefits us. And again, we can always rotate too. We can always back up, give them more room, and then of course Uber back into them. Because again, as long as we kill their medic, we'll have Uber ad for the next fight. And even then, if they do go from their spawn, as long as the medic drops down, like where the fuck's he gonna go? Is he gonna try to run? I guess he could run, for the BC connector, but we can always have a soldier chase, unless we have a scout on this map, on this part of the map. Power's also another option I was thinking of, but I feel like a sniper. Glizzy, if you're more confident in your sniper, honestly, just go sniper. I feel like a sniper's gonna be a lot more powerful here. Again, on either of these sight lines. Okay, now into holding C. The plan's pretty simple. Again, because this is a pretty exploitable spot here, and it stops us from, as long as we hold this hallway, we don't have to worry about this half the map. And even if we do have to worry about that half the map, it gives us time to react to it because, well, we know that we've lost A, and we know that they might go this way. I can easily move shit around, even if it is a Eureka Effect and it does build slower. But I digress. Since I'm going to be using a Eureka Effect, I really don't need a dispenser up here. As long as my teleport exit's alive, that's all I care about. I can put it like here-ish. And then if I need more metal, yeah. And then that gives me the chance to, if I need to, drop down and place a dispenser for you guys. I know, right? I'm so nice. Right here-ish, I don't know. I'll have to think about more specific placement later, but this should be close enough for our medic to heal, Bob if he's holding this corner, putting traps on the stairs, or if he can always temporarily peek deep to put some more deeper traps in. It depends on where we're getting pushed back. It gives a nice dispenser spot for Soldier that's down here with the combo. Because obviously, while my sentry gun does a really good job watching the B side, it's not gonna. There is a blind spot that people can exploit back here, and this is why holding this hallway is really important. I don't want snipers being able to siege my sentry gun or me out easily. So that's why we're gonna have pretty much a good chunk. Again, soldier medic demo down here. I want a soldier up with me to watch these two hallways, and also keep an eye out for spies for me, because I might be under threat of fire. You can easily shoot your rocket, and then just while you're waiting to reload or whatnot, just check my back, because I'd be surprised. And then the same with the other map. Keep an eye out for spies. They probably will send a spy at some point. If they are doing this, if they decide to copy us, I'll talk more about it on attack. But yeah, I'm going scatterbrain here. Yeah, and again, if it looks like we're gonna lose A, and we want to, again, if we've lost like a lot of numbers and we're worried about not being able to hold A, we just hold back, play for Ubrad, and we can hold for a powerful C hold. I know it's not optimal, but I'd rather us not lose Ubrad so that we have a fighting chance on C. Last second things we can do on C. If they manage to get most of our team, we could run Jetpack Pyro up here and push them off to try to buy us time. Again, it's a desperation play. It might not work, especially if they have ears. They'll shoot the Pyro and stop them from coming up here. I mean, we could also do an offense, but I see less of a reason to, because it only starts working if we get to C. then you can obviously air blast them off if they try to come up and, you know, if the soldiers try to, you know, do anything funny, you can air blast them, of course. Demo spam, air blast, blah, 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 you know. Pretty standard stuff for a pyro, but yeah. Now, I guess I'll quickly talk about attack. I don't know why this got turned off. Again, I talked a little bit about on the B defense how we're gonna attack. I don't really see it. I really don't see a point to recover it, but quickly again, if they're holding back on like Enigma, you know, we have pretty much we can either push through from our spawn quickly with a 4-man sack depending on where Uber's at, and try to see if we can get the medic by just peeking the roof. Even if the sentry gun's somewhere here or even further back, I don't care. We can easily get that and then it. Obviously, watch out for bombers. We definitely want to send at least one person going on, like, you know, this side of the map that also spam. That way, we're not just going to group over pieces into one batch and have the demo easily spam us out to hell. So, yeah. There's that. And again, worst case scenario, if we're going deep, if we know where the medic is and he's like by this small health pack, you know, or behind the point, we can call this like this here, or again, or if he's on Enigma, we can just say screw the sentry gun and just again bomb him from a few different angles. And again, we can always run a sniper, try to make room for a sniper and play off our sniper. If we find an opening, and then of course, you know, if we could try the trade with the sniper. If we were confident for sniper's abilities, and that way we waste less time. Because again, if the sniper, as long as our sniper even just forces them to pop on our terms, we can easily win this point. I talked about holding the doors again. Soldiers, demo here. 1, 2 soldiers here. It's going to be really hard to, for them to do it. If we have more of a player ad, then let's try to spawn camp them till we capture C. That way, we don't have to worry about any funny shenanigans. And the nice thing about B here is it's closer to C. So again, it's easier to jump up on C, start capping. Again, Soldier's Pain Train on this map might be actually a play because the cap times are fairly long, and it doesn't hurt to have more flexibility. Especially since this is an attack defense map and Scout's already devalued a lot more because they might be running heavy engineer. A lot of defensive classes that Scout, of course, struggles at dealing with by himself. And I doubt, again, if they're not going to be sending constant bombers or sacks into our medic on defense, which why would they do that? They have such long respawn times. I don't see really as much of a reason to have full-time scout. Of course, we want a scout to ferry the medic and protect the medic, of course, but we don't need two. We really don't need 2 scouts. So more pain trains would be definitely nice. If they're hard holding A, Spy can easily, of course, get up here. At this point, I can basically call out when I'm ready, say go on this time. I decloak, or the spy decloaks. We try to stab the engineer. If they try to copy your style, stab the engineer, sap his shit, or sap then stab, depends on how we're feeling. And then of course rush down the sentry gun, and then immediately try to go for the medic. Of course, wherever the medic may be on this map. If we get Uber ad, even if they reset up like a level 2 or level 1 sentry gun, I'm not too worried about it. It's gonna be pretty easy to just walk in with Uber and steamroll them. Unless they have a sniper, of course, the sniper is going to be the biggest problem. We'll have to we can always talk about on the fly who we find to be the biggest threat. I could always go for the sniper instead of the engineer, and again, yeah. Basically, we want to try to get it so that we have again as much as an advantage. If we can't get the medic because he's hiding too far back or too far gone, go for player ad, and then that way, even if we do end up trading over players, we have player ad, and they have the longer respawns, and it's much easier for us to roll out, because, cliff and whatnot, and the fact that our spawn's closer, they get A really easily. Again, you really only need to worry about this choke. I mean, I don't really see them doing any funny things from the B connector. I really only see them recontesting through C. If they go through B, then they're they're way out of position for if we push last. Again, I really don't think any team is going to be sending anyone through B connector, but you never know. Even if they do, our demo man's here. He can easily rotate and start firing on them, and again, soldiers can rotate and should peel for demo the help with defense if needed. But just like any other point, because it might take a while to grind out, honestly, 1-2 people capping is probably what we're going to need. I mean, you can stack more people on the point, but you get quickly diminishing returns. Like once I think you get past like a 4 or 5 cap rate, your diminishing returns are just seen. So we might as well just have 2 players. One of the, you know, obviously the scout, because I mean, if we're still trying to push that choke, I don't think we're gonna need to worry about bombers, and we can easily have a soldier again with the pain train to help, and then that way we got a 4x cap rate and we're capping pretty much peak efficiency. We don't need to do any more than that, unless we really want to just stack it and get it over with, but yeah. Okay, I said I would show the rollout, so since that's the last thing to do, I don't really see any more. Oh, actually attacking C, that's right. If we can brute force through the hallway here, that'd be awesome, because then it opens up a lot of the map. We can, you know, send bombers from this side of the map, whatnot. Obviously, wherever it doesn't matter where the engineer puts his sentry gun, there's always going to be some weakness from a sniper in this hallway. If he puts it anywhere else, we can easily call it out. You know, like it's all on the left ramp, right ramp, you know, left side of the map, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I don't really think it's close to the, you know, left B connector, right B connector. It doesn't, again, we can just do a lot of directional callouts. I remember seeing some engineers recommending, like, to build their shit here, but again, this was older times when they didn't have to worry about halfway competent snipers, so, and, you know, they could expect their team to stop spamming, but if the sentry gun's here, it's not watching the point. I don't care if the sentry gun's literally anywhere but, you know, watching the point, because at that point, we can pretty much ignore it for the most part, and just, yeah. Once we get enough of advantage, yeah, we're going to want to spawn camp. It's pretty simple. I really don't think it's that complicated. Domoman can easily watch here pretty competently, and then, again, we have the rest of our people on point, and they can watch the other side, and or we give up the other side and just, again, it's anything to slow them down. Because if I'm playing scout, you know, if they try the rocket jump up here, I can always intercept them, stand up here, let our soldiers cap with the pain train, and soldiers can easily stand back here and just spam away and try to go for those, you know, nutty air shot plays. Obviously, Ubering in depends where their combo is. We obviously want to try to get to them as close as possible. And our Uber, if we have to Uber exchange, is probably just going to be more for positioning. And same with the other points. Probably just positioning, allowing our players to get in position so we can fight the map on our terms. And then, of course, take out the sentry gun if we have players in position. Obviously, Wiki, you know what to do. Try to walk at the sentry gun. Try to take the aggro from it. Be the closest to it, because the sentry gun always attacks the closest player. It's pretty fucking stupid in that way. So, again, if you're closest, you can give the people you're flashing behind you the room to jump and go where they need to without it immediately locking onto them and stopping from doing anything. So yeah. I think that really does it for this map. It's gonna be pretty gay. It's gonna be pretty much 5-man, 4-man sack central, if we have the time to play. If we have time to play with them, because it's gonna be on stopwatch. And if we hold for a long time, then we have all the time in the world just to send sack after sack after sack until, again, we get what we want and we push in with what we got. So yeah, again, it's pretty simple. So let me switch to engineer, and then I'll quickly show the rollout.
60 seconds.
Yeah, okay, that failed that, but I'm still gonna be able to beat this setup timer. I would have put it a little bit closer, but it doesn't matter. I'll still show it. It's actually pretty cool. I actually get enough for a dispenser.
Teleporter coming right up.
Again, temporary teleporter spot.
Mission begins in 30 seconds.
It's quicker the grab the cabinet than the Banny Bind. Less of a walk. Now we Banny Bind to her, back to her Eureka Effect loadout.
Mission
And look at that, the teleporter's
begins
built.
I'm moving this.
5, 4, 3,
Go on, get
2.
And there we go. Sentry gun's fully built by the time, and even that's with me failing on top of it. But if we see him, if I see a majority of them going for B, or sorry, for A, and you guys can hold, I can easily set the funny teleporter up.
Teleporter coming right up.
It's literally that simple, and then I just move my dispenser back, and there you go. I let that build out, and I can always, once it's fully built, I can just Eureka Effect teleport to it. Another thing to note, I'll just quickly throw that on for anyone who's playing engineer. There's a really funny thing. If your teleporter's getting sapped, and even if the exit's not fully built, I'm pretty sure most people know if the exit's not fully built, you can do this. You can obviously oops, I didn't hold H long enough. Even if this is getting sapped by a spy, I can still teleport for it. Even if it's getting red tape recorded, funnily enough, I can still teleport for it. And at this point, if I have more time, I can move it back here, you know, be a little bit safer. Making it harder to spam out, and harder to see. But yeah. And at this point, again, we have a pretty decent teleporter spot for, you know, our medic and especially sniper. I mean, this could be a funny sightline. They might not expect the sniper to be standing here. So, just be aware, be mindful that the only downside about this teleporter spot, and if it's a problem, I can always change it, is that the sniper might, you know, get some deep peeks there, since the sentry gun doesn't watch it. But I'm not too worried about that. Our soldiers should be watching that for the most part. It shouldn't be a problem. Yeah. The only nice thing about having the teleporter here is it's closer to my sentry gun. Like, I don't really need a dispenser if you guys can cover for long enough because, again, I can work off a shoestring budget. I'll just quickly show it on C, you know, what that practically looks like. You know, like, obviously the dispenser's going to be down there. I upgrade if I have time. I'd probably want to try to move it to the other spawn eventually, my teleporter entrance, but that's if I have time. When I'm setting stuff up originally, we'll probably want to have the teleporter. Once I get things set up, I can easily move my teleporter exit to here. That's a little bit safer. It might lead to the fact that I can Eureka Effect as soon as I respawn and just jump down and kill them because they might not see it. They might not think to check there. But again, oh, I can't build a sentry gun, whatever. I'm just gonna teleport back, you know, and then Banny Bind, teleport. Build my building.
Sentry going up. Plant yourself on the point, mister.
And see, this is why I don't need a dispenser because I can just do that. And if it's starting to take heat, you know, I might have to let you guys. If it goes down, whatever. It's not the biggest deal because as long as my teleporter's alive, I just keep doing this over and over and over. And yeah, once I get this thing fully set up, I'm chilling, man. I'm just watching for spies at this point. Oops. That can happen too. Sometimes I'm actually a little too anxious with holding my H button. But yeah, nice thing is you can, if you guys want the Eureka Effect bind, I can give it to you. I actually maybe I'll include in the video description. It's pretty simple. I mean, it's nice to be able to have my shotgun out and shoot people actually. Oh, I'm in cover. I want to teleport back to spawn. I don't have to manually switch to Eureka Effect. Press R. Oh, I have to down press a number. Look at all these inputs. That's for losers. No, I just want to instantly do what I want. I want to teleport to spawn. You know. But yeah. It's funny, you can even do the bind with the menu open. But anyways. Yeah, and then that way again, you have the dispenser down here. You guys never have to leave this position. Wiki can hide in dispenser, have dispenser armor from those mean, terrible, no good soldiers, and yeah. Pretty safe. And then of course if this dispenser was long enough and I want to quickly do it. quickly upgrade it. Oh, they're starting to push and starting to spam my sentry gun out. You know, oh, I want to go back up there. I'm back up here now, you know.
Plant yourself on the
Right
point,
on my sentry
mister.
gun. So you can see just how powerful this is. This is why I'm running this wrench. It just gives me way too much mobility as engineer once I'm set up, and it just makes me really flexible. And I'm pretty sure you guys will appreciate a level 3 dispenser if I can get that up.
Mission ends in 60 seconds.
You know, if we have time. Which, you know, when they're dead, we should have enough time. And again, as long as I have a soldier up there, again, even if the spy sapsis, he has to revolver that shit down, because as long as this stays alive, it doesn't matter if it's being sapped. I literally can come out of it and surprise him like it's FNAF, you know? So, yeah.
Mission ends in 30
I don't see any more to talk
seconds.
about. Hopefully this has been helpful. I'll talk about all this once we go over the map review in person again, because I know not everyone's going to watch this. But for those who want to, you know, do their due diligence, hopefully this helped. So, we're going to end it here.